The crowd is filtering here at Sky City Theatre in the heart of Auckland City. We're bringing you high-octane motor racing esports action at the very best. 8 of the very best Gran Turismo races will go head-to-head across the iconic Panorama racecourse, and one will be crowned the New Zealand champion. My name is Dwan. I welcome in Jonathan, Arcadian Jansen. Also welcome in Louis, the Thriller, D. Manila, and expert comments as well. Gents, firstly, it looks fantastic in here. Supercars behind us and the stage looks fantastic.
Absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm really surprised to see these awesome cars out here. We've got racing ready. We've got the simulators going. It's going to be an awesome night.
That's right. I mean, this is getting bigger and bigger. Not only is this for the motor racing fans, but of course it's all about the esports fan out there, and it's getting bigger every day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talk about esports all the time. Constantly we talk about how esports as an industry is growing and it's becoming bigger and, more stable. And I mean, now it's not just an if or a when it's going to happen. It's becoming a now's the time. Everyone's racing to get in there, no pun intended, but we've got regional teams all across the world. We've got the Golden State Warriors, now have the Golden Guardians franchise. We've got football teams, NBA teams, baseball teams, they're all coming to play, and so it's awesome to see. Yeah,
it's booming right here in New Zealand, but of course, if we look at this particular title, Louis, Gran Turismo, you've played it around the world, and obviously some of the best who have won these competitions have gone on to be Formula One race drivers or getting close to.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got guys like Jan Mardenborough racing in the Super Formula Series in Japan. You've got guys like Lucas Ordonez, who won the GT Academy back in 2008. He's a works racing driver from Nissan. And obviously Matt Simmons from Australia, 2015 GT Academy champion.
Yeah. So it's the real deal. Motor racing meets esports action. But let's have a look at the iconic course that all the races will be competing on tonight.
Welcome to Bathurst, the most famous racetrack in the Southern Hemisphere. Long straights, heavy braking zones, fast corners, and menacing walls are all part of Mount Panorama's makeup, earning it the title of Australia's Green Hell. After drag racing your way through Mountain Straight is Griffin's Bend, a popular overtaking spot for racers. Watch those who get a good exit out of turn 1, line the cars up in front for an overtake on the way into this corner. Keep the car nice and tight on the right, but don't take too much curve so the corner doesn't spit you out to the wall on the left. Up next is the cutting. This is where Mount Panorama really starts to rear its head and challenge drivers. Greg Murphy fans will remember that corner vividly from an incident back in 2005. After turns 3 and 4, it's a very fast complex of corners that takes us up the mountain. Only the bravest of the brave will try to make a pass here in the twin-turbo Nissan GTR Nismo GT3. Drivers who can keep their foot in and get as close as they dare to the walls in entry and exit will be rewarded with a quick lap time. The filming park is the last corner of this complex at the top of the hill. Don't get distracted by the skyline views, however, as the technical downhill S-bends are some of the most challenging corners in the world. You start to see some drivers make mistakes here towards the end of their stint, as old tires struggle to keep Godzilla on the road. Navigate that treacherous toge-style section successfully and you're rewarded with a bit of a breather down Conrad Straight. Thinking drivers will drive the car in front to get a boost of speed, or save a bit of fuel on the run down towards the chase. The first right-hander is a flat-out blast through the fastest corner in Australia. Watch drivers use the apron on the left to widen the corner entry. Hope the tires stick, otherwise you'll end up like Fabian Coulthard, who had a massive crash here back in 2010, rolling over 6 times before coming to a complete stop. The run down to the next part of the chase is another big braking zone, presenting another good opportunity for drivers to overtake and really race with each other from the start all the way to the end of the lap. With 1 corner to go, don't forget to breathe before braking from Murray's corner. Get this final left-hander right and you're on for a quick one. Again, don't get too greedy on exit, using just the right amount of throttle and curb to get the big GTR across the line.
So there it is, the iconic Mount Panorama motor racing course. But guys, Kiwis and Australians love this course, and there's some very good race car drivers from the Kiwis who've dominated on this particular circuit.
Oh, absolutely, Kiwis should love this course. Home of the Bathurst 1000, Shane van Gisbergen is the current record fastest lap holder of just over 2 minutes, 1 second, I believe. Awesome track, and fun fact, it's actually open to the public, and so it's a fan favorite as well as a motorsport favorite.
And Louis, for the races that are in this tournament today, you look at this particular type of course, the person who wins this one, what do they have to do on this course?
Well, they have to be aggressive. The walls are there. They have to get as close as they can to that. At the same time, they have to keep it on the black stuff, keep it away from the walls as well. It's 25 laps. You can't win it in the first lap, but you have to finish the race to be a winner at Bathurst.
Well, let's have a look at the car that all the competitors were using in the race today.
The weapon of choice for the 2017 GTSport New Zealand Championship Grand Final is the Nissan GTR Nismo GT3. Sharing the same visual cues as the road-going version, the GTR Nismo GT3 has been refined for GT3 racing all over the world. Front-engined, rear-wheel drive, 3.8-litre twin-turbocharged V6, producing 542 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and weighing in at 1,300 kilograms. This car is a favorite among professional drivers, gentlemen racers, and fans of GT racing alike. It won the 2015 Bathurst 12-hour and the Blancpain Endurance Championship in the hands of the Nissan PlayStation GT Academy team, who I'm sure will want to get to know some of the speedy Kiwis racing tonight. Kazunori Yamauchi, the creator of Gran Turismo, has driven this very car himself in the 24 hours of Nürburgring, ensuring that our racers are getting the truest real driving simulator experience.
So there is a car. Interesting though, because obviously most Kiwis and Australians, it's always the Ford and Holden battle, but today on this course, they're going to be using the Nissan.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like the new kids on the block, like, you know, the eSports guys that we have here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how the guys, you know, drive that car around Panorama and, you know, really put on a good show for the rest of us tonight.
That's right. But before we get into the main event, gents, and for everybody at home, we have something very special. It is a curtain raiser featuring some of the best and brightest traditional sports stars and celebrities as well.
We do. We have a star-studded lineup for the curtain raiser tonight. We got players from the Mystics. We got Albert Vette, our good friends from the Warriors, who's always at all of our esports events, as well as, you know, Pua from Shortland Street, and, you know, the whole crew and cast is here, so it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be very, very cool. So they'll be competing on Mount Panorama, 5 laps only, and I think they're very close to getting into the action. We're going to head upstairs to our commentary team in the form of Matt Smite-Ross and Brendan White. Gents, looking forward to this one.
That's right, thank you, Tuan. Yes, we are here in the beautiful Sky City Theatre for those tuned in all around New Zealand via Sky Sport. This is an epic moment for New Zealand motorsport and eSport. That's right, we are here for the LPL Gran Turismo. It's the final, and I'm blessed to be sitting next to the man, the brains up in this commentary box, which is Matt. Matt, run us through this. First off, before we get into serious racing, we have a bit of a fun time ahead of us.
Bit of a fun time, or maybe some of the celebrities are going to take it a little bit seriously. And I think one of those people are going to be Albert Vette from the Vodafone Warriors, right? Arcadian mentioned it himself. He's been to all our esports events. This guy's a veteran in gaming, and I reckon he's been playing this pretty much every single day since he's been invited. So my money's on him to actually take out the race.
Right, okay, so we're going to do a bet here. So your money is on him.
Oh, we're doing a bet now?
Yeah, no, we're going to do a bet here for the viewers at home. And we've got some great celebrities here. So I'm going to put my money on one of the Mystics. We're in Sky City, so we're going to go for the Sky City Mystics, and that's Phoenix Karaka. So we're really 5 celebrities, and we're going to really see some...
5 laps.
5 laps.
5 laps, 8 celebrities.
8 celebrities, sorry. Thank you for correcting me on that one. But we're going to either see some of them finish, none of them finish, or we may see some crashing and bashing. But I really think it's going to be an awesome thing here for motorsport in New Zealand and esports.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be the big difference between the casual players and the professionals that we're going to see a little bit later on. But without further ado, let's throw it down to the stage.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Letsplay.live Gran Turismo Sport New Zealand Championships. My name is Ashley, this is the lovely Athena, and we will be your MCs tonight. The crowd is electric, the atmosphere is set. I cannot wait to see these guys go to battle. Come on, let me hear it.
I can say honestly, I am super excited as myself. And to get things hyped tonight, we have a curtain raiser with 8 celebrities going head to head up against each other. But of course, only one could be the winner.
Yes, only one can be the winner. Let's get our first celebrity up on stage. From the mighty Vodafone Warriors, we have Albert Vette. Come on, let me hear it for Albert.
Welcome, welcome along, Albert. How are you feeling tonight?
Nervous, but yeah, excited.
Got any tactics coming to this game today?
Go really fast, don't crash.
I guess that's a good one then. Take a seat, brother, and good luck, man.
All right, give him a round of applause, Albert Vette. Now up next, a great basketball player from the Sky City Breakers. We got Daron Raukawa. Come on, let me hear it.
Daron, no stranger to Let's Play Live. So this is all different from Call of Duty. How are you going to go into this today?
Oh, you know, with the winning mindset. So just, you know, play to win.
Humble, right?
Yeah, always.
All right, brother, take your seat as well. Round of applause, guys, for Daron.
Round of applause, man. I think he's going to cop an L to this lovely, beautiful lady over here from the Sky City Northern Mystics. We have Phoenix Karaka. Come on. Every time I say a name, make some noise, please.
First lady up on stage. It is so good to see a female face. How are you feeling, girl?
I'm pretty confident, having all the, the confidence from everyone else who plays. So, yeah.
You got supporters here tonight?
Yeah, everyone who's here.
I love that. Round of applause for the sister. Take a seat, honey.
Did they not come for your teammate? Next up on stage from the Sky City Northern Mystics, we have Michaela Sokolic-Beatson.
Welcome, Michaela. How are you feeling?
Not too confident.
Not too confident, but you got another female, so is she your, competitor of this match, or do you think the guy's going to be more of a challenge?
I think Phoenix will be the top competitor.
Yeah, even against the guys?
Yeah, even against the guys.
Ooh, I like that one. All right, sister, good luck and take a seat.
All right, a personal favorite of mine, the fifth competitor up on stage. He won his spot by the flavor.co.nz, a flavor competition. Justin Barr.
Justin. So you entered online at flavor.co.nz. You got picked. Did you think you'd be here today?
No, I didn't, but I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to get some laps in. So.
Oh, I love that, brother. Well, take your seat and good luck. Round of applause.
No need for introductions for our sixth competitor on the stage, Shortland Street and Flavor Breakfast show host, Pua Magasiva. Oh, come on, mate. Come on.
Pua Magasiva. Is this your tactic coming into this today?
Well, the thing is, I've seen a lot of fierce competitors. I mean, Derwan, whatever you want to call him, he seems to praise himself highly up there. Vete, he's an undercover guy, but I think I'm going to take it. The Mystics, I don't even have to bother with. But Junior over there, listen, he's an undercover. He's a shining diamond, but I think I'm going to put him on my ring and wear him, marry his ass after I finish with him.
Can you take your seat, please? Go take a seat.
We'll send you to your seat.
He already said his name, Boxer Junior Farr. Welcome. Give him a round of applause.
Welcome to the stage, Junior. It's a whole different game going from the boxing ring into a console ring, so to speak. So how are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling just the same as I do in the ring. I'm feeling confident. I don't feel too much pressure, and I'm ready to win.
Off the back of what Pua said, how are you feeling about him?
I'm not too worried about him.
All right, brother, good luck and take a seat.
All right, now this is just coming in. Apparently we don't have an eighth competitor, so we have to settle it. It's either me or you.
We have to settle this.
You know what's going down.
Everything. You ready?
Come on.
All right. Gang, come on. Take your seat right now, brother. It's time to put the pedal to the middle. Drivers, take your seats. It's time to go.
All right, Matt. Well, some friendly banter going on down there.
Astley's racing. Our own MC actually got off the stage and back onto the stage to go and race as well. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't want to change my bet, but I feel like he's going to do pretty well in the race as well.
Well, there's some massive call-outs there from our celebs, and we're about to find out who actually delivers, who actually has the goods. I think there's one man that really thinks he's got it, our Shortland Street star, but, I'm not going to change my bet either. I'm going to be biased here. We're in Sky City, so my money is still on Phoenix. We're getting ready, and I think I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about the main feature race just because of our background with New Zealand motorsport, but these celebs still have a lot of work cut out for them.
There's a big mix of celebrities as well. I mean, a lot of them are from traditional sports as well, but you've also can't count out the Flavor wildcard winner as well, coming in just completely out of nowhere. Who knows what this guy is capable of?
Well, Ashley's money was on Justin, but now Justin and Ashley in the mix. So, as you can see right there. We don't know. There could be an undercover driver here. That's the big thing.
Oh, all right.
Here's our grid.
Here is our grid indeed. And before we get into it, of course, you'll want to know who's sitting where. Right at the front, sitting at number 1 in pole position. Ignore the names for now, but Astley is actually currently in pole position. He stole that for himself.
Our MC paid someone, didn't he? Yes, he did. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. It's lap 1 here at Panorama. Oh, my God. Panorama, and we are carnage galore. But someone got away, a couple of cars got away, which is a great start as they come right up Mountain Straight. Now this course has 23 kilometres at 6.2 Ks, and there's a few laps. So as the professional driver said, it's about consistency, but it's about, for the celebs, so it's about taking out who you can. Here we go with the replay. Ashley straight in there, straight off.
I don't know what we were expecting for the celebrity match, but it delivered, absolutely. Now, I just want to let you know that Ward, who is currently in second, that name is actually for Albert Vede. So he's actually currently right up the front of the mix right there. So definitely can expect that he's going to be competing for that pole position.
Who's the number one leader right now?
I believe that is actually Pua right now. Yes. Well, I mean, after those words at the start, you got to expect that he'd be right up the front.
Now, this is an iconic part of the Bathurst circuit here. Now, you would have seen it in supercars coming over, and they're coming into McPhillamy Park right now. The leader is coming over. This is beautiful. This Gran Turismo game is so realistic.
I mean, someone actually turned on a Bathurst race in my office the other day, and I thought they were just watching Gran Turismo. And this is a real-life Bathurst race, and it took me a few seconds to realize, but the game is beautiful, right? It's not just beautiful, right, in terms of realism, because it also has all the physics, all the crashing that a real race has as well. And that's right, guys. Damage is actually turned on for this match as well. You crash too hard, your car is going to struggle to get to the end of the lap.
Well, Ashley's going to be struggling since he went straight off the front straight at the very start. So that's a really good, important point that you just pointed out, which is in the actual game. Run me through that really quickly while the celebs take there and settle themselves into these 5 laps. Damage is turned on. Tyres?
Tire wear is going to be on, although 25 laps around Mount Panorama shouldn't come in too much of an effect on it unless you're going really hard on your wheels. But fuel consumption's on.
Wow.
You've got the full damage. You're going to have to pit. You don't have enough fuel to get around 25 laps.
Right, so
the celebrities here should be fine with their 5. Oh, actually, after that first crash, I don't know.
Another one.
But
Number
there
3
goes Ashley.
Number 3, is that Ashley?
I believe that is Ashley.
Right. So that's a big tactic. It's just like a Bathurst race. You know, you've got tactics that come in. The professional drivers, we're going to meet them very shortly here. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. Welcome to Sky City Theatre. We are live for the LPL Gran Turismo Grand Final, the New Zealand Grand Final, the first time ever in New Zealand. Motorsport meets eSports, and that's pretty cool in itself. So we're tuned in here, and we've got a bit of a celebrity race. We've got Sky City Breakers, we've got the Mystics, we've got a flavour wild random card, Justin, and we've got obviously Junior in there, who's going to have a fight afterwards with Pa for calling him out. And right now, we're actually seeing them do not too bad though.
Yeah, I mean, after that first catastrophe at Hell's Corner, right off the bat, about 6 out of the 8 races actually crashed immediately, but everyone seems okay.
You spoke too soon.
No, I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
There it is. I mean, as far as crashes go, that was pretty recoverable. He managed to get out of there, and honestly, looks set to actually find some overtaking.
Now, I had a go on these before we went live, and once you do settle in, it's pretty realistic. It feels good. It's a fun game. It's addictive. That's why so many people globally get into this now. Esports is exploding. Not only are motorsport racers getting into it, you're seeing general consumers taking the game, and they're getting into it. Then they're becoming motor racers.
I know, that's one of the best things as well, and we'll actually meet one of our professional racers later on today in the main race who actually races professionally in real life, not in the virtual simulation. So that's how close these games are actually getting. The fact that he can translate those skills onto the simulation and vice versa and come out as one of the most successful racers.
That's right. So they're coming down Conrod Straight at the moment. Now, this is one of the fastest corners. Well, it is the fastest corner in Australasian motorsport. 300 kilometers per hour they go around that corner. You don't lift. And then as you come down to the front straight, you're right down to 170 k's, down to second gear under the Armourall crossing, and then down the front straight where we saw, unfortunately, Shane Van Gisbergen spin in the last Bathurst race. Epic comebacks from that. Shane Van Gisbergen, obviously the actual lap record holder in the McLaren, much like what we've seen on the stage here in Sky City Theatre. And of course, we've seen the Lamborghini sitting on stage, which is one of our races, which we'll meet later on.
Yeah, and as we continue on as well, I believe this is the 4th lap now as well, so we are getting pretty far into the race now, and you've got to say, like, The names Holland and Smith, they have been going very consistently, and it's showing how far ahead you can get ahead of your competitors as well. There's also a mini-map interface in the top right hand of the game, so you can actually see roughly where everyone else is, so you can actually see, no one's been lapped just yet, it's not that embarrassing, but as you can see, someone is yet to finish
I'm really
their third
interested
lap.
to see who's that one down the back there. Oh, the concentration. What a beautiful setup, these simulators. Now, a lot of these guys, the professional racers that you'll see tonight, have all practiced on the professional simulators. They have simulators at home. We'll find one person that didn't later on in the evening who actually got into the grand final here in New Zealand with a hand controller, which is
I mean, that's just bizarre. I mean, I'm amazed that he managed to get through, but it's going to be a real test later on to see if he can actually handle the simulation after about a week's worth of practices, from what I've heard. But look, we're still I feel like there was some treachery in there, trying to sabotage.
The S's are going to always catch out the newbies, and same with the dipper. You know, you've got to basically let the car coast down through here. You're not accelerating through here, just coasting the car full throttle right down here, Conrod straight. We've seen some amazing motorsport come down this front straight, and you've really got to have balls of steel to come down this at 300 kilometers an hour. But I'm really interested to know who our winner, who our leader is at the moment as they come through the chase. So right now we have Daron, New Zealand Breakers coming in first. The Breakers, okay, it's not the Mystics, it's not my one, it's not your one, but he talked a big game when he came out on stage.
Yeah, we'll have to see where the rest of our picks are actually later on in the race. Oh, a bit of the dirt there coming out for Pua, but this is pretty iconic, right? Pua talked a big game coming into this, but Daron, he just came on and said, you know what, I can do it. I'm pretty good at this game. I should probably win. But Pua came out saying like, oh yeah, no, I'm the best. No one here is going to be better than me. And to his credit, there's only one person better than him so far.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad for jumping in this, and if he hasn't practiced, really good. So what we're watching right now is the Nissan GTR, the Nismo GTR. There's a few of them in New Zealand competing at the moment. We've actually got a professional drift car backed by Nissan in New Zealand too, that's piloted in the National Series. Used globally. This car, front-mounted engine, rear-wheel drive, 3.8 litres. It's a twin-turbo V6. And as you can see, this is what the competitors are going to be driving throughout the race too.
That is exactly what they're going to be driving as well. So we get a bit of a taste of it right here. And while these celebrities, maybe not the most professional of racers, even the ones in first and second, we're really going to see this car push to its absolute limits later on in the race. Now, this is the second last lap for at least most people. There's one person still on his third last lap, so unfortunately they're going to have a long race to catch up. Of course, there's no point continuing the race after third place has been decided, but this may be an overtake here.
This is a good battle coming over Philemy Park into the S's, going very nuts, trying to pass, coming through down into the dipper. It goes really weightless right about now. Oh, but touch the wall. And you've seen it so many times in Bathurst before as they come through the last corners before they come down to Conrod Straight. Will they be able to catch him back up?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's also the consistency that we're definitely going to see in the 25-lap race later on. Daron, he just held tight. He said, I'm just going to go down the dipper very standardly, just going to coast down, and then Pua trying to put all his might into it, couldn't find the overtake.
It's the nerves, mate.
Exactly.
The newbies.
Especially after talking up such a big game.
Yeah,
everyone's expecting really a huge amount.
Yeah, Conrod Straight. So this straight's about 1 kilometre long, 300 k's an hour. They're the top of fifth gear. They don't lift coming through that corner, and then they really chop down. Second gear around here. I'm not sure what Pua was in there as he's on the grass, a bit sideways, much like D1NZ. So is this the final lap? The hands are in there from the crowd. So realistic.
I mean, that's what it would be like in real life as well, especially with these celebrities coming in. Oh, that Murray's corner looked pretty painful for Pua there. But as you can see, Daron has crossed the finish line for one last lap to go.
We're on the white flag. It's the last wrap, and we have Daron in the lead. Is it Pua in the second? Is he chasing?
I believe that is Pua in second place right now in the LPL Nismo as well.
Look at the concentration coming out of the Mystics.
So that either means she's going along the track really consistently and she's trying to stay pretty steady, or she's trying to back out of a terrible crash.
I had a lot of that earlier on when I had to go.
It might still be the crash from the first corner that we saw. Now maybe she's still backing out of that.
This is an epic little battle going on here. For celebrities that have not driven this game, really cool to see. Now they want to hold it mid-line here. There's a bump right there as they come over, and it actually sets the car into weightless traction, so it bounces the car over. So these professional drivers we're going to see later are going to know all these little aspects and every inch they can get from the top here of Mount Panorama. But what a battle! These guys are doing really well. It's the final lap here for the celebrities, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a round of applause as they come up over Philimy Park.
And it's going to be back into the dipper. Remember, Pua tried to take over.
He cheated!
He actually cheated. But remember, there is penalties for doing that. He's going to suffer a pretty hefty time penalty. So he'll have to get over that finish line well ahead.
But we're having a pass again. They're back. It's Crash and Bass here for the grand final. They're both. It's going to be foot to the floor. Who's going to be able to pick up the pace? Now, both these cars are matched evenly, aren't they?
Yes.
Engine specs.
Absolutely evenly, right? So no matter what, you're going down the straight, slipstream actually comes into play. So you drive right behind another racer, and just the way aerodynamics works, you're going to go slightly faster than that racer, and you can see that in action there, where he's trying to overtake.
That's 300 kilometers an hour, not lifting. They switch on. Who's going to be on the brakes? They're both on the brakes. This is consistent driving here.
Well, it's going to be the risk coming out from Pua. If he wants to get that first place, he's going to have to take the most dangerous corner of his life. Daron just needs to coast him. But that's too much.
The Thrustmaster R35 GT are the grand final for the LPL Gran Turismo. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
He's going to lose second place.
He's going to lose second.
Pua lost second place trying to take that first place. No, actually, I think he managed to just pull ahead. But wow, that was close at the end.
That was pretty cool. It's got me excited for the main race.
Oh man, absolutely, especially after that first crash. We do still have a few more races just finishing up. We've already had, I believe, 4 races finished, maybe only 3. But it's going to be a slow crawl for some of them. And you can see on the mini-map in the top right-hand of your screen as well, there's a few races. In fact, one still going down the dipper on her final lap. I'm assuming...
Did you just...
No, I may have assumed.
You did.
Yeah, you call me out on that. I deserve it.
That's okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuned in, we are live here from the Sky City Theatre in Auckland and live across New Zealand via Sky Sports for the first history-making, first ever motorsport event live on New Zealand TV. And that's right, we are at the Gran Turismo Live Grand Final.
You know what I'm really excited for, Brendan? I cannot wait for Pua to be interviewed after that. I cannot wait for them to ask what was going on at the end, how he feels getting second place. But I mean, look, they're just finishing up their race now. I believe, yes, there's only one racer to go until they finish.
They're coming down the chase, the final corner. We're not quite sure who it is. There we go. So we do have confirmation of winners, and we're going to find them out very shortly as we just get... I'm going to assume that it's a her too, because you've put it in my mind, mate. So we're going to go down live on stage, and we're going to check out these winners very, very shortly. Just coming around the final corner there. It's called Murray's Corner, corner 23. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. They're last, but they made it across the line.
And they've done it. All races have completed the match, and there it is, the finish across the screen. So thank you so much for the celebrities to come down as well. It's a great honor to have them, but look, standing by, it looks like we're going to have a few words with the winners of the celebrity match. All right.
I'm standing down here with the top 3 of that race, and what an amazing race it was indeed. In at 3rd place, we have our Flavor Wildcard winner, Justin. How do you feel after that, man?
It was really cool, great experience, and thanks a lot for having me.
Going up against celebrities, how'd you feel with that one, though?
Well, I was a bit nervous, but they're all a good bunch of people, so it was all good.
Well, at least you know you kicked some of them butts, though, huh? Round of applause again for Justin, guys. 3rd place. Coming in at 2nd place. It was so close, man. How you feeling after that last little sprint, brother?
Oh, it was nerve-wracking. It was a big chase, and trying to pass this guy was quite impossible. But mate, it was a good race, and full credit to the brother.
You got stuck behind him a couple of times, bro. What was your technique to try get around him, especially that last little run?
Well, I did a cheeky little cut of the lane. He stuck to the track, and I cut straight through. That's how I got him. But then he ran me up the backside, and that's never a good case for anybody. And that's where I think I lost the game. Yeah, it was all a chase from there.
A round of applause for our second place, Pua Mangasiva. And he is no stranger to winning with Let's Play Live, brother. Another dub. First place, Daron, how you feeling?
Oh, that was the most intense race ever. It was awesome.
You knew you were going to have that one, brother?
Oh, for the first 2 laps, I was like, yeah, it's in the bag. But then this green car kept creeping up behind me, and I thought it was done. I knew that his tactic was to cut me off. No, it was awesome finish and it was heaps of fun. Thank you for having me.
Love it. Congratulations again to our #1 first place winner, Daron. And also a special shout out to PlayStation for sponsoring all our winners with these awesome little goodie packs. Let's take it over here though quickly, guys. Card. How are you feeling with that one, bro? You actually did pretty good.
I'm happy with 4th place. Let's leave it at that. Dwan, take over, mate. I'm done. I'm happy with my performance today. Do I get a prize back, though?
That's a no from everybody? Okay, that's a no. Congrats. Thank you again, guys, for competing in this celebrity race. Round of applause again. Well, up next. Up next is the real thing. That's right. The real players will be competing, so stand by for that one.
All right, so we're here at the LPL Gran Turismo Grand Final. Some of the highlights for our celebrity race, Matt. It's going to be some interesting commentary on flavour, no doubt, coming up. And, hey, you've got to give it to Pua. He talked a big game, and he actually delivered. So, but, out of the woodwork.
I think I was most impressed by how hungry he was for that first place as well. He took everything. You can see it here. He's just fighting so hard to pass Daron. But Daron, he kept his cool, he kept his calm, and just drove consistently. He sees this green car trying to get past him at every single corner, the dipper twice in a row. But again, he just drove like normal. And maybe this is something we'll see pay off later on in the main match.
That's right, the main match coming up, and as the drivers said earlier on, consistency is key. Let's go down trackside, see the guys down in front.
Yeah, gentlemen, look, like the heart's kind of, pounding. That's awesome. I mean, obviously, that excites me and obviously everyone at home because straight away we're seeing, I guess, celebrities. But the top two, and Daron and Pua, I mean, it was outstanding racing.
I mean, I just want to put it out there. I know I harp on about it, but I always ask the question, what's the great thing about esports? Why is it so exciting? It's because anyone can get in there and just do that. And that was so exciting. They don't need any previous racing experience, although I'd argue that these guys probably did those two. That was some, really good performance. But they're able to just get down, sit down, and race. And it was so awesome to be a part of and just even spectate. That's why it's becoming such a big thing.
That's right. And obviously for you, Louis, I mean, they're supposed celebrities or sports stars. How impressed were you seeing them go toe-to-toe out there?
Yeah, that's the beauty of this game. You can, plug and play, start playing a racing game, and, it's almost like you're out there in the real track, in the real car. So exciting.
It was exciting to kick off the event, obviously, but now it's all about, really about the big 8 that are about to enter the arena. So obviously for them to get here, guys, we've had 6 come via way of qualification here at Sky City, and we also had 2 via the online qualification. So Arcadian, the 6 that came via qualification, are they at an advantage over the online qualifiers?
It's a little bit hard to tell. The qualifiers were done on a hot lap, so it was a single lap. You can go as hard as you want. There's no pit stops, no car economy. You don't have to worry about any of that sort of stuff. They just, do it, they go in there and they do it once and they do it as best as they can. It's going to be a little bit different on the final race, but for the qualifier in person, you're using a different set, you're using a different, rig compared to when you're online. You could just be at home. You could be using exactly what you're used to, and so they could have had an advantage coming in. We're going to find out.
That's right. And Louis, you looked at the 6 online. You were there at the qualifying day, as was I, and so some very quick times, but then the 2 quickest coming into this race are actually the 2 that come via online, and some of them actually weren't in the race sim. So are they at a disadvantage?
It really depends how much practice they put in. They had a few goes earlier today, and it's whoever can keep their nerves in check. And if they can keep it on the black step for the 25 laps, they might be on for a winner there.
That's right, 25 laps of Mount Panorama featuring the 8 best Gran Turismo races in the country. They'll be racing in the Nissan GTR. They'll be racing around Mount Panorama for 25 of the laps. But let's have a look at the rules that will determine exactly how they play. So the circuit is Mount Panorama, 25 laps, the vehicle, the Nissan GTR Nismo. It is sunny at 4:30 and the conditions. Visible damage will be on, the mechanical damage will be light, and the slipstream strength will be real. Tyre wear, very important for all of these competitors as they move around 25 laps. Fuel depletion, twice on, meaning that they will have to pit throughout the race. That will come to strategy. Balance of performance is off. Ghosting during the race will be strong. Shortcut penalty is strong. And the side contact penalty is on. Counter steering assistance prohibited. Active stability maintenance, or ASM, is prohibited. Driving line assist prohibited. Traction control no limit, as are the ABS, and auto drive is prohibited. So there you have it, gentlemen. Those are the rules that will dictate, that are dictated to for this, the Gran Turismo New Zealand Championship. 8 races head-to-head. For you, though, Louis, looking at the rule set, interesting. They are all in the same race, and like Arcadian alluded to earlier on, they are going into a race setting coming via way of qualification in the hot lap format. So looking at those rules, looking at them coming into 25 laps of Mount Panorama, what stands out for you in the rules?
I think it's whoever who can keep take care of the tires, manage their fuel consumption. They'd be at an advantage. When it comes to the pit stops, people can come in a lap early, lap later, take the undercut, overcut. It's up to them.
It's up to them. Well, we are standing by. 8 of the best about to go head to head. Oh, why don't we go for, let's see, because we always do this. Who have you got? Let's go with you, Louis. You know these guys pretty well, so who have you got to win this one and take it home tonight?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a very tough one. I don't want to put my money on it. It's got to be you guys who decide.
Sitting on the fence. Oh, Arcadian never will. He'll always say someone.
Yeah, and I know who I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for our number 1 pole position, Holland, I believe. I'm going to be back in the best qualifying time coming in online, and I think that he's going to pull it out again on the day.
You're saying winners are going to be winners. I'll go with Fame. I think he's a fantastic racer. He obviously races professionally, so that's my pick. But hey, doesn't really matter. We'll find out very shortly. Let's head back upstairs to the commentary team. Matt Smart-Ross and Brendan, let's go.
Thank you, Twain. And dude, I have to agree. I am going to go with Thane as well on this one, Matt. He's a young, talented driver. He's been all over the world, and he's got a bit of experience here. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Now, who is your money on? Well, you're the expert.
Brendan, and this is where my expertise does come into play, right? Everyone's backing Thane. Oh, he drives real cars. But Matt Smith has been an eSports GTSport champion, so I'm really backing him. He's got the eSports experience that's really needed to take out a win here. And at the live qualifiers, he got the fastest lap.
He got the fastest lap. Well, we are at Sky City, and we're about to find out. It is motorsport versus eSport combined for the first time in New Zealand. And that in itself is a very special moment, live on Sky Sport, and we're about to find out. So we're going to go downstairs, as we could say, trackside. It's all about to go down.
All right, the action is done. The curtain raiser is all over. We need to get this show on the road. I am ready to go. Now, it is my job today to introduce to you the top 8 qualifiers in the Gran Turismo Sport Championships right here in New Zealand. And without further ado, let's get into your number 8. His name is Johan Ward.
Competition is very tough in the New Zealand GT Championship. You're starting at the back of the grid. How do you get it done today?
Competition is very tough, I grant you that. I guess the only way I can advance up the grid is through fuel and tyre strategy, having that right on the money.
And starting in 8th though, do you take those chances on this course and try to get up early?
Will I take chances? I think I have to be careful not to overdrive and just be consistent. I think that will be the key ingredient for me, especially being at the back of the grid.
One more time for Johan Ward. Come on, let's go. Take your seat. I see you. All right, last but not least, this is our 7th qualifier for the Gran Turismo Sport New Zealand Championships, Chaz Holland.
You're about to go 25 laps of virtual Bathurst. Very different than the shootout that you did in the qualifiers. How do you think you can win it today?
25 laps is quite a long time. It's not like a sprint. It's not like the qualifiers anymore. So basically, I think it's more about consistency, just getting your lines right, getting your braking points right, and just consistently getting the good lap times.
And those lap times that you talk about, where do you think you need to be consistently to get it done?
Well, I think we'll be aiming for like a 2:02. Might be a good kind of lap time to get. But yeah, if you're hitting those low 2:02s, I think it's going to be competitive regardless.
All right, this is the crowd's job. One more time for Chaz Holland. Come on. You're the best, buddy. Coming in at number 6 on the seed for the Gran Turismo Sport Grand Final here, we have David Fisher.
You're starting in the middle of the grid to kick this tournament off. How is that going to affect your racing strategy?
I think this is going to be really important just to be consistent and to basically assess the road ahead, make sure I'm just sitting comfortably and going at my own pace, and thinking about those 25 laps instead of those 3 in the future, yeah.
And will pit stops play a massive part for you in this race?
Yeah, I think everyone's strategizing over that. The 1 or 2 stop is going to be key here. We might have a 50-50 split, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Well, good luck, mate.
If you're here to support David Fisher, please make some noise. Come on, let's go. All the best, David. Good luck, mate. All right, getting into your 5th competitor today in the grand final, we have Josh Ritchie.
You're inside Sky City Theatre. There's hundreds of fans about to pour into the venue. Is there pressure on you to perform in front of such a crowd?
Yeah, there is a bit of pressure ahead of tonight, of course, with this being sort of a national event, as you would say, and of course it will be groundbreaking for esports in New Zealand, particularly with motorsport. So yeah, there's definitely a lot on the line, especially with the prizes in store, of course, which is a good bonus, but also bragging rights as well. So yeah, I guess the pressure's on.
And simply put, do you think you can win it from your position starting in this tournament today?
It's quite competitive, of course. There's a lot of people in here that are certainly on track to win the event. However, I'm very, very happy with the times I'm doing, especially in race mode. So I definitely think I'm in with a shot for today, but of course anything can happen here. It just takes one mistake or anything like that before eventually you find yourself down the bottom of the pack.
Give the man some love, Josh Ritchie. Come on, Josh. Yeah. I love the energy. Let's get into your 4th seed. This is Fane Kahia.
You come into this tournament as an actual motorsport racer. How will you take those learnings into this tournament?
I actually, I've been leaning on a few things that the fact that it's a game, I can cheat a little bit, like in real life, you wouldn't bounce it off the limiter or I'll get a slap from the engineer, so I can sort of lean on that sort of stuff here. So there's a few things I can find pace, find speed where you normally wouldn't in real life, so I'm looking at a few things like that.
And when you look forward into the competition, you're in a good spot in the competition, but can you win it?
I believe I can. I love this track. I've been doing a few laps in this car, and I feel, pretty good.
If you're here to support Fane Kahia, give him some love. Yeah, I hear ya. All right, now into your top 3 seeds for the Gran Turismo Sport New Zealand Championships. In at 3, we have Matthew Smith.
Coming to this tournament with a lot of motor racing esports experience. How will that help you today?
My past esports experience is really going to help dealing with the pressure of the situation and being taken into this new environment they're in. I've done that before, whereas other competitors haven't. So it's going to give me that little bit of an edge, hopefully.
There's going to be a lot of screaming fans out there. Will you be able to cope with the pressure?
Yep, we've got the headsets on. I've done it before, so I'll be able to cope with the pressure, no problem.
This one's for me, crowd. Give it up for Matthew Smith! Is that all I get? Come on, that was special. All right, your 2nd seed to qualify in the Gran Turismo Sport New Zealand Championships, Simon Bishop.
So you come into this competition as one of the 2 online qualifiers, but you are on the race sim now. How do you think you're going to go?
The online qualifying was tough, but now that we're here on the stage, I think everyone's on the same path, so I think it's going to be a pretty even contest.
And have you spent much time in the racing simulator?
No, so I'm very limited compared to some of these guys on the wheel, but I think that I'm going to be easily fast enough to keep up with some of these guys.
And it is a physical environment, lots of people in the crowd. Will that play in your mind tonight?
No, I don't think so. Once I'm in the zone, I reckon I'm going to be pretty right to go.
One of the favorites in the tournament. One more time for Simon Bishop. Take your seat, bro. You're looking confident. I love it. And last but not least, this man qualified first in the Gran Turismo Sport Championships. Without further ado, Matthew Brown.
Come into this one as the #1 ranked player in the tournament. How's the pressure for you?
So the pressure for me coming in here is pretty high. I've seen what the other guys are capable of, and it's going to be a tough race.
You qualified online, but now you are in the racing sim. Are you able to bring that success into this realm?
Yeah, bring the success online and translate it into the physical world, I guess, is going to be the toughest part about this.
And simply done, you're #1. Can you win it all?
Being #1, I've probably got the best shot, but putting it together at the end of the day is going to be the hardest bit.
Here it is, our #1 seed, Matthew Brown. Give him a round of applause, people. That's your #1 seed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the race, I would like to get you to do one more thing. Please give a big round of applause for all of our competitors here tonight. Come on! Let's get this show on the road. Take your seats.
Wow, well, ladies and gentlemen, what an atmosphere here. Sky City Theatre. History will be made. It is coming right now. The nerves will be pumping through these guys' veins down on stage.
As much as you want to say it on stage in the interview, saying, oh yeah, nah, pressure's not there for me, I'm just going to be in the zone, that's really going to be put to the test right now. I can hear the crowd from up here, and they are loud. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like Johan actually probably has the most fans in the crowd. I definitely heard a big roar when he was there, and I also know he's got a lot of people coming along to support him as well. So he is, of course, 8th in the grid, had the slowest qualifying time, so he's got a lot riding on him here to try and get into that top 3 position.
And as you can see out on stage, from left to right, the left is the top qualifiers, the far right end is the bottom end of the field, as we go live very shortly from Mount Panorama Bathurst, the most grueling race, one of the most grueling races on earth. Usually it's 1,000, and right now it's 25 laps. And as you saw earlier on in the info, there are lots of things that are taken into account. There's damage control, there's fuel, there's consumption, there's tyres. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, run us through this grid, man.
All right, so of course in pole position is Matthew Brown, all the way from Invercargill, one of the online qualifiers. Second position is Simon Bishop, also from the South Island, from Dunedin, this guy also online qualifier. But we're not going to have time to go through all of them. So
we are live here at Mount Panorama for the first ever LPL Gran Turismo Grand Final. I'm excited. They get off to a good start. Oh, but we're wide for the first leaders.
Wow.
That is a big change straight away in the race there, Matt.
And this is also showing off their experience in going on a hot lap by yourself. Sure, that's great. You can get a fast time there. But this is where overtaking experience comes into. How well do you deal with other cars on the road?
And as you can see there, bottom right, you've got a replay there. Thane on the inside lane as we come up right through. This is the slowest part of the track for the whole track, but we're still 200 kilometers per hour. Thane takes the lead early on, ladies and gentlemen. True style there. I put my money on him. Let's see. And what we said earlier, consistency is key here. 25 laps. It's not just about first dash. So they come through up over the top of Mount Panorama, and they're thinning out already.
Look at that Thane as well. Remember how he talked about how much he wanted to cheat in the video game, or cheat compared to real life. You can see him tapping the wall, knowing that he's not going to get a slap on the wrist from his engineer when he gets through the lap, right? He's just going to be able to push this car to the absolute limits.
That's right. So you can limiters in a real race car. If you hold it on limiter, you're going to do some serious damage straight off the top of Mount Panorama. But in this, as Thane said earlier, you can actually push those limits. You can keep it on limiter as he comes down Conrod Straight for the first time ever. 300 kilometers per hour. He'll be the top of 5th gear as we do it right now. This corner coming up through. We follow him through 300. They don't lift. Concentration there from our man who qualified on a game controller.
That's right indeed, but where is he in position though? We can't see him quite yet. He's not in the top 3, but you can see Matt Smith, the guy I put my money on, is currently in 3rd. But this is only one lap, ladies and gentlemen, and so far, apart from that one bit of a mess at the start of the lap, it's all been pretty consistent, although Chaz taking a bit of the dirt along with him along that corner.
It's a long race, 25 laps. Well, it might seem that this lap happened really fast. Anything can happen in 25 laps, so you've got to have your wits about it. You're going to have to stop for fuel, so a bit of tactics will come in here, much like we see in real racing as well. Thane's got the early lead, and what that will allow him to do is really choose when he pits for his fuel. If there's a big, I guess, tussle or something happen further back in the field, he's going to have that advantage. So he definitely doesn't want to lose that. He just has to sit down, mellow into his seat, and be consistent through the field. Who have we got behind him? We've got Richie.
Yeah, so Josh Ritchie, another one of the top contenders up at the live qualifier from a few Saturdays ago at the Sky City foyer. He sat there. He wasn't actually competing for most of the day. Matt Smith, Thane Kahia, they were qualifying over the whole day. They spent the whole day refining their time. Josh Ritchie came in and said, I don't have a lot of time. Let's get this done. Let's get me a good lap. And then he left. And so he managed to qualify with that strategy. Now he's here after weeks of practice, 25 laps, and he's in 2nd place.
And the guy that goes by Monkey Man, Matthew Smith, he's sitting in 3rd position right now as they come, those beautiful shots. It really is a testament to how far gaming's come. If you YouTube, like the early days to what it is now, it's so realistic.
And not to mention as well, there's the VR possibilities of this. Going into virtual reality while playing Gran Turismo is, you can literally lean out of your car window and look down and look around your car. It's incredible. And if you haven't given it a shot, you have to.
So motorsport in New Zealand meets esports for the first time ever here at Sky City. And as you can see, impressive setups as well. All of these guys have simulators at home. They've been practicing. They obviously didn't qualify on this track though. They qualified on...
They qualified on Suzuka Circuit, which is quite a different lap. That's all the lap times that you saw before in terms of how they got their grid position. So it's a bit of a diversion from what you traditionally see, where you'd see normally the grid lap coming in first. But they all qualified on Suzuka Circuit. And again, this is now testing how well they can diversify their track knowledge.
Right, so fastest lap is still set by Thane. 2:02.65, the current fastest lap in, I guess, real motor racing. We've got big crash there. Who was that? Coming through the first corner. We'll have a look on, we'll see if we get a replay on that one. But 2:02, the fastest lap ever, was 1 minute 56 from Shane Van Gisbergen.
Oh no, it's the Lord of the Controller, Simon Bishop, all the way from Dunedin, had that crash at the end, and that's punishing. But remember, we've been saying it a lot, it's 25 laps, so even if you're in 8th place, even if you're that far behind, there is absolutely the opportunity for everyone to crash at the end, but there's the replay here.
Replay down on the bottom, just got out on those marbles, took a bit of dirt, put the accelerator down just a bit too soon, and that sent him straight into the wall. And we've actually seen that happen in V8 supercars as well, or supercars as they are dubbed now. As they come back over, you see a slight bump there. That's where a car actually gets weightless on the circuit, and you feel it too when you're actually playing this game. Nice and wide, there's a grate down there. And when they come over through McPhillany Park, they're going to come down here. This is all about coasting. So as we see they come through here, they're actually not exhilarating through here. They're letting the car wait, and the acceleration they've already got take them through this section. It's as you call the S's, and then the dipper, and then coming up to Forest Elbow. So really good, consistent run here from Thane. 2:02, the fastest lap, and he's got quite a bit of a lead out on himself right now.
But this is where the coasting stops, Brendan. This is where you get onto Conrod Straight. 1 kilometer, 300 kilometers an hour, pure speed, and with no one close behind you, you don't have to worry about slipstreams, because of course that's a mechanic in the game as well.
That's turned on in the game for this game, isn't it?
Yes, so players of course can slipstream, but if you're that far behind, there's no chance that you're going to be able to catch that draft. So Thane is really looking consistently in the lead. He just has to not crash, and he's got this in the bag.
And as you can see, he's pushing the limits there. Well, who knows with the pit stop, you know, and we've seen it at Bathurst time and time again. Little things. You just saw it with Smith. Came around the corner, got on the dirt, put too much acceleration on. You've seen it with the best in the game as well. So a long way to go here as we are only 3 laps down. Mount Panorama as we have a look through the field. Smith in 3rd position, 2:02.917.
That's again going to be set by Fane Kahia, currently in the lead of the race. We're going to talk about the middle of the pack as well. We've got David Fisher there sitting in 4th, and in fact, in his interview beforehand, they mentioned you're starting off the grid in the middle of the pack, so he hasn't moved too much. He hasn't suffered too much from that first catastrophe of a crash at the start, so look, he's actually doing pretty well, but if he wants to push himself, 4th place is not good enough.
For sure. Now, what they're racing in currently out on track is a Nissan GTR GT3. This car is used globally. It's also used in New Zealand. It's used for drifting in New Zealand as well by Darren Kelly in the current D1 NZ Championship. Twin turbo V6. Whoa! Big wall tap there. Who was that?
That was
Mr. Ward. So 542 horsepower, only 1,300 kg. So you'd expect a big car like this to be quite heavier. Now, back in the day, the actual GTRs were banned from Bathurst. Yes, and it caused a lot of uproar. And that year, if anyone knows it, there was a very interesting podium going back for those tuned at home or in the crowd. And after that year, it was Ford versus the first, the sort of Ford Holden. Carried on from then onwards. Fane down Conrod Straight at the moment. So rules. Right now, I was talking to the competitors early on, and they were saying they can actually adjust a lot of aspects of the car while they're racing as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a few that you're wanting to look at. Tyres were going to be one of them, but they've actually just been set for the same tyres. Of course, once you pit, you'll want to replace those tyres, but they're going to be the same ones. So
Slipstream. Good example of a slipstream right now coming down Conrod Straight, 300 kilometres an hour, and he used it too. Ward gets the jump on and will be able to maintain. Oh, a little tussle in there, sets him off. Be interesting, we've got refs on each side of the stage, but the game actually, now explain to me here, the game actually penalises you, so they act as like a motorsport official.
Yeah, so in the sense of you don't want someone going through a corner and sabotaging not just themselves, but you as well. If you're going way too fast for a corner or way too slow, the game...
Like Pua did earlier on.
Yes, that's it, right? So the game will ghost you, and what ghosting means is that people can drive right through you. And this is just a way to stop other racers just trying to sabotage everyone else, because realistically, no one's going to be going those corners at those speeds. So if you are, then really you're just trying to ruin someone else's game.
Right, and I was obviously listening to the drivers earlier on. Interesting one I watched is they're all actually in socks down there. They've got no shoes on. And it's all about the feel of the accelerator. In normal motorsport, you have to wear fire safety overalls and fire safety boots, but really interesting to see that they really want to feel those accelerators and feel the braking system of the electronics as much as they possibly can. Now, this car actually won the 12-hour Bathurst as well, 2015. So this is quite realistic in the sense of what they're feeling and what the car runs. Obviously, as Fane said, you can push it more. 2 wheels off on the dipper, as you saw through there. And he's got a current fastest lap of 2:01.55.
Yeah, no one has overtaken Fane's fastest lap yet, and he's getting better laps himself as he goes. Now, at the qualifier, he was actually practicing a lot. He was really trying to get the absolute best lap time he could on Suzuka circuit, and it wasn't like he would bail out at one of the early corners and just retry straight away. He would just consistently get these very fast times, very competitive times at the qualifier, and then just refine them over time. And it looks like he's doing that within a 25-lap race right now.
Look, a part of motorsport is consistency. Consistency is key in anything you do, and one thing I saw with Fane is both there and when he was even media, he was the only person when you guys were doing pre-interviews to actually go, hey, can you take some photos for my social media? So he's a great ambassador for himself in the sport, and we've seen it through his different motorsports. He's competed in a lot. He's actually gone overseas. He's done the Lamborghini driving school. He's competed in those, and this is what they're competing for, as you see, bottom right. The trophy, the bragging rights, and of course, $5,000 cash. Moolah.
Exactly. I mean, there's going to be a big difference between first and second, but I think another big difference is between third and fourth. Speaking of fourth, you've got David Fisher here in the green LPL Mobile. We've got a pit stop actually happening right now. I believe that's Simon Bishop. He's currently in 8th place, taking an opportunity to refuel right now. So this is also something that we're going to have to start talking about.
Really cool to see that live actually happening as we see it. So he's sitting back, relaxing, and I wonder what his tactic is to take it right now.
Yeah, actually, so I was mistaken. That's actually Johan pitting there. So he's gone ahead, pitted, and this is going to pull him right back out of the race. He's going to have to catch up, but of course, remember, everyone else is going to have to pit. So this is the early pitting strategy.
Yep.
But is he going to have enough fuel? Is he going to have enough damage resistance, I should say, on his car to weather the rest of the race? That's just under 20 laps that he now has to go if he doesn't want to pit again.
It's a long way to go, so we'll see how that plays out very shortly. You see there where Pua actually took the shortcut. That used to actually be a gravel trap many years ago at Bathurst, and it actually caused a lot of accidents. So now you can actually just, if you're in a lot of control, a lot of, I guess, danger, just slip straight through there. And the motorsport or CAMS officials in Australia will watch if you did a cheeky one like Pua did.
I feel like Pua was just doing it for the crowd. And maybe a little bit of bragging rights within the game, saying, well, no one's going to stop me, why wouldn't I just drive over? But no, the game does have mechanics to make sure there's no foul play coming out into any of the races. Now, Fane, there's no foul play here, just good racing, and like we were saying, he's consistently getting better and better lap times. Maybe he's going to improve on it once more here as he's about to finish one more lap. Okay, so it's not an improvement, but it's still, that's in the top tier of what races we're getting on the qualifying day.
Right,
Sorry, my mistake. Not on the qualifying day, but when they were practicing earlier today.
Right, so if you're just tuning in, we are live here from Sky City Theatre and on Sky TV in New Zealand. It is the LPL GT. It's the grand final of Gran Turismo New Zealand, the first time ever for New Zealand motorsport to combine with eSport. And eSport is actually growing. It's ridiculous. I was actually chatting to you earlier, and I thought, oh, you know, apparently they're filling stadiums overseas with a stage with a prize pool of a couple $1 million. But you corrected me.
I did correct you. I mean, I kind of scoffed when you said $1 million, because the biggest prize pool to date in esports is actually $20 million.
$20 million in stadiums filled with people watching young lads like this compete on stage.
More people watch for example, the League of Legends World Final than watch the NBA Final. Wow. That's worldwide as well. That's how many people are watching video games. So esports is very legitimately a real thing, and a lot of people will hear things like, oh, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, those are the main games, but no, there's plenty of room for other esports here. We've got GTSport here as a great example, and it's almost a way to merge the two as well, because you've got actual races from real life coming in here, like Fane, who's currently in first place.
And we're going to touch on that in a second. Nice little battle here for 4th and 5th position. Brown, he's using every inch of that track up on the top of Mount Panorama. You can see him scraping the walls. His damage control, if we get a close-up, you'll see both right and left rear quarter of that. It's going to have some wall damage, much like you see in drifting in New Zealand from where I come from, my background. It's kind of a common knowledge. But good races are going to be able to use the slipstreams there. I just don't think he's just not close enough.
Not quite close enough, and that's also another thing to talk about is the top 3 races right now. If you look on the mini-map, you can actually see they're a considerable distance away from 4th and 5th. And I was saying before, the battle for 3rd place is actually going to be really big, but it's just slipping further and further away from both Matthew Brown and David Fisher here in 5th and 4th place.
Anything can happen at Bathurst, and Thane isn't that far ahead. You know, he's coming up the front of Mountain Straight right now. These boys are coming around the start-finish line, so, you know, one spin, that's it. So we're only into 8 of 25. And look at that, nice little, oh no, that was Fisher. We've got a little battle coming up here. So this is going to be 3rd as they come up over the little rise. They'll be top of 5th gear.
Once they get to the corner, though, with Fisher, he's on the inside lane here. How much of an advantage is this going to give him in preventing an overtake?
You're actually going to see the outside line will be better because you can cut across, and if he's not up there fast enough, he's going to have to give way, and that's what you just saw happen there because you've got bigger turning circle. So this is the slowest part of the track for Bathurst. Fisher just loses that position, so you're down to 2nd gear as you come through here. Nice and dead centre as you come over that bump. This is a really cool section of the track, really fast. as you come over this rise here, you're going to come wide, and the actual car compressions, it really pushes down and it binds up. And what they'll be finding in the steering wheel is it actually fights them as it binds up, the power steering, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the power steering, like everything else in the simulation, is really quite realistic. I mean, all the racers here have been talking about it today. All the people I've talked to who have actually just sat down, had a jam on the game, and say, wow, this just feels like racing. This feels like driving with the power steering as well. It rips itself out of people's hands sometimes when they're not ready.
So #1 qualifier online there, as we saw. Concentration just dead center.
Yeah,
he's currently sitting.
I mean, remember, there's a lot of pressure on him coming in as #1. He's got to prove, look, just because I got in through the online qualifier doesn't mean I'm any worse than anyone else. I got a better time here, but he's sitting in 4th, so he still needs to prove it, and there is a huge distance for him to cover. He needs to sit there getting better laps after each other, or pray for a crash in the podium positions.
That's right. And that is him there on your bottom of the screen. He's got pressure on him, and he'll have all the nerves with Fisher right on his tail as they come around. It's a nice little battle between these two, and that's what you want to see in racing. You want to see some good battles, and that's why sometimes we pray for the safety car, we pray for a bit of rain, or we pray for a bit of dirt, because at the end of the day, it's a spectator sport, and Mount Panorama definitely ridiculous spectators coming there every year for that first.
I mean, I felt for the players on that first corner a little bit, but as a spectator, I had a little bit of a joyous moment there, because that was great to watch. And you know, I am praying for a crash somewhere else. As heartless as that does sound, it does make motorsport super exciting here. But we talked about it, and the thing that's on every single player's mind is that consistency. They know that they have to keep going just the same every single race, maybe improve by a little bit. And that's what Fane Car here in 1st place is doing right now. But you've got to ask yourself, those players in 4th position and after, you really need to start pushing yourself. You need to start taking risks if you want a piece of that prize money.
He's really pushing himself, so that is going to scrub a bit of speed off him. It'll be interesting to see what he sets down on this lap. He's coming through the S's there and down Conrod Street. You can see him touching the walls there, and that obviously, because it's damage control on, the game actually takes into account, and it's going to scrub your speed. It's going to bring you down, but he may very well etch his name into motorsport history as the first eSport winner for New Zealand, along big names like Jim Richards in New Zealand. There's some amazing names that have won this Bathurst, and I strongly recommend, if you're ever going to watch anything, watch the Brock movie, Peter Brock, about Bathurst as well. Still this little battle going on for 4th and 5th. Our #1 qualifier online, Brown in the lead in the Nismo R35 GTR.
And we've got to remember as well, right? No one has pitted yet apart from Johan, right? So everyone still has to go. And just as I say that, we do have a player pitting right now. We'll find out who it is eventually, but you can see their position is dropping down. And from the position I saw before, I believe it's Fane who's pitting right now.
Oh, we've got another one as well.
Yep, there goes Matt Brown also pitting. So we've got 2 pits at the same time. We'll see how this plays into it. Now remember, Johan, this is going to be his moment to come back from 8th place after his early pit and overtake them right now.
So yes, Fane is in the pit, so your race leader in the pits, how the tactics will play out. So that will drop him down, and he's going to have to work that back out. Now the question will be, is the whole field going to get past him?
Yeah, or the other question as well, is Johan going to overtake anyone who's gone for a pit just yet? And he is coming up quite close, as you can see on the mini-map, but I believe he should overtake him here, actually. No, he's going to have to get up to Hell's Corner instead. But now you can see that Matthew Brown was left alone. Kaya Fane, he's now in 6th place, but he's already pitted, and he's not last, so that's already a good start.
So as long as everyone else pits, he'll be back in the lead, and it's all about those tactics.
Does have to look to overtake. Remember, the cutting, slowest part of the race here, so it is where damage control does have to be in effect here. You take a corner too hard, you are going to take that damage. Remember, we were just talking about it before. That's the other question. How much time do you spend in the pits repairing that body damage? You say, nah, my car can handle it, I can get around. And remember, racers are not going to want to pit more than once in the whole race here.
So you can actually repair your car while you're in this game in the pits as well?
I believe that is how it works.
That is pretty cool. So we say that is the fastest, the slowest corner, the cutting up on the top of Mount Panorama there, but they're still doing ridiculous speeds, 190k, and above, 205 kilometers per hour. It's really still high speeds up there as we come down. Our new race leader, Richie in number 1 as he comes around Murray corner down the front straight. Be interesting to see what lap time he sends. 158, 159. He's had a bit of clean air there.
That was not, unfortunately, the fastest lap. And remember, Josh Ritchie hasn't pitted yet, so he may look like he's in first place right now, but before this, he was around about 6th, I believe, actually. So he's made quite a lot of distance, but everyone else has pitted, and you actually see 3 racers are pitting at the same time now.
Oh, there we go. Tactics in. Who have we got in?
So, I'm not
really impressive how it's actually got live fuel consumptions going on. That is cool. That is really cool.
So we've actually got Matt Smith, David Fisher, and Chaz Holland all pitting in at the same time. And like you said, you can see that fuel consumption going up as well. So you can see how long it's going to take. You may even see some racers decide to leave before their fuel is fully up. Maybe that's going to be an example of a strategical, very short pit stop at the end if you absolutely need it.
Right, Fane's still holding that fastest lap time, 201.545. Very impressive. That's actually really close. Don't quote me, but if not the same as the fastest lap in a real car by Shane Van Gisbergen that was in the McLaren last year. So we'll see if anybody beats that, and that will be, I guess, an eye-opener. If someone does beat that, that could spell that person, obviously, giving him a run for his money. Fane into 3rd position now.
Yeah, I think that's, until every racer has pitted so far, you're going to want to see if anyone does beat that fastest lap. That's going to be the best indicator to see who's actually going to end up in that top 3 position once everyone has pitted. So remember to keep your eyes on that.
Now, a great thing to also point out in this is these drivers that compete, and there's one professional race car driver here, that being Fane, but the other ones internationally, we've got GT Academies going on and the same similar setups, and they're actually now going on to full race programs, Formula 1, development series. That is ridiculous, all from jumping out of a simulator and jumping into a race car and knowing how to drive.
I mean, imagine trying to do this even 10 years ago, right? You would not be able to race Mount Panorama like this in such a long time. It would not be nearly as realistic. And now these players here, they very much could just jump into a real car and tomorrow race in the real Mount Panorama, the real Bathurst.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is highly addictive. I had to go very earlier on, and if you've got a Christmas present on your wish list, we know what it is now. There's the selfless plug for GT. Go get it.
Get the VR set.
Give it a go.
Get the VR set.
Get the VR set.
I've had so much fun on that one. We've got another 2 pits coming out as well, and after every single racer has gone ahead and taken that pit stop, look who's in the front. It is Fane Kahia once more.
So his racing career really shining out there. He's a New Zealand international athlete. He's only 21 years of age. He's still young. He's got some very ambitious goals too, Fane. 17 years old. He was actually invited to a Formula 1 team, and they spent a race weekend in Australia. He's done so many things for a young man. Very charismatic young man as well. I think this year he's hoping to look at potentially do some TRS racing here in New Zealand. So if you're live here on Sky TV and you're watching and you've got a TRS team, wow. There is the man to back. But yes, lots of achievements. Check him out on Facebook, and of course check us out on the LPL Facebook page if you want more information on our events coming up. Let's touch on that. Let's touch on some of these events. You say that obviously this is a first for New Zealand, motorsport and e-sport, but you're just a Tekken.
Yes, we've done it. We've
so
done
many
a lot,
Tekken fans.
A lot of New Zealand esports firsts as well. I mean, there was a Tekken event, there was Call of Duty, even League of Legends. So for the first time on national television, NBA 2K was another one as well. A lot of games that don't actually get a lot of coverage around the world, but here in New Zealand, the players can say, I actually have the opportunity to play on national television.
Right now, we're live on Sky Sport. That's pretty cool for these young guys. I think it's a real true testament too as well as what eSport is doing and what you are showcasing here and the level that it is being done here at Sky City Theatre. A lot of motorsport promoters, including myself, could take a little leaf out of the eSport boys and bring this over into motorsport in New Zealand. Really cool. Great to watch.
Yeah, esports is also, it's quite different to your traditional sports as well. I mean, down to the point where the commentators, us, are actually commonly known as shoutcasters instead. So, I mean, that's how different it is as well. I mean, right?
I did wonder that when I saw the script. I was like, yeah.
There's a story for that, and I'll probably tell you later on today. But we've got a race on our hands here,
We do.
Brendan.
So, Thane, let's watch those speeds as we come up the mountain straight. You know, the top of 5th gear, he is in it. He's 137 kilometres an hour. Before he comes in, he should be the top of 50. He'll be heavy braking right about now on the picks. Right down, there you go, right down to 3rd, sometimes into 2nd, 80 kilometres per hour, 95. He's going to climb right back up, should be up to 200 kilometres an hour. Oh, we lost him.
We lost him, but we do have Josh Ritchie sitting in 2nd position, and I do believe he has actually pitted already, so he's legitimately earned this 2nd position right now. So this is a little bit of a change. Remember, Josh Ritchie, I was mentioning him on the live qualifier. He came in, jumped in, did a time, and then came out. Everyone else was there pretty much all day. So Josh Ritchie to sit here and actually get the chance to prove himself. So he might not have the fastest lap just yet, but if he's consistently doing just slightly above what Fane's doing at the fastest lap, then he's actually good to stay in that 2nd position.
Right, so we'll see if we can actually get a full lap with Thane coming through for the next corner as he comes down through Falcon, which is actually called Forest Elbow, down Conrod Straight.
Yeah, and this is, of course, as a newer racer playing Gran Turismo years and years ago, when I would play Bathurst, this was always my favorite part of the track, right? I'd crash, I'd ruin my car up until this part where I got to say, I get to go 300 kilometers an hour.
The chase never actually used to be in there. They put it in for safety precautions a few years back because, but when you say that, you've seen, I'm not sure if you've seen the Bundaberg car crash, and it rolled, and it was amazing crash and very scary and saying
amazing.
Yeah,
that's one word.
Well, you know, that's what makes motorsport so thrilling is the crashes, the excitement, and, you know, being only that close to a car going 300 kilometers per hour down it and feeling the rumble through yourself side by side. It's something that you definitely have to witness. If you're into e-sport or you're into motorsport, get to a track this summer and experience it in the flesh.
Yeah, I've definitely had the light shone upon me for racing. I was never really big into racing, but working with the guys here on this event here, I've got a real appreciation for it. I've probably watched more Bathurst than most people here have in their life in the last weekend, and I've had so much fun watching it. It's been so amazing. I mean, there's hours of footage on it, and it's such an iconic track as well, and I'm even feeling that now, only recently getting into it.
I was having a chat with Shane Van Gisbergen yesterday on the phone, and I said, mate, can you tell me a bit about the track and a bit about a rundown? And he just laughed at me, and then I realized after, I guess if you win Bathurst, that is the pinnacle of motorsport careers, you know. It's like the lap of the gods with Greg Murphy and Scaife, you know. So I had a chat to him about it, and he, I guess, definitely is one of his bucket lists is to take that out. He pushed so hard at the last Supercars event to take that up. All right, bit of loose action up there as he nearly clipped the wall. 3rd position, he actually, that would have slowed him down a weenie bit.
Yeah, well, that's Matt Smith as well. Remember, he wants to stay in that 3rd position because prize cutoff is 4th place, right? You want to stay in at least the top 3, but knowing Matt Smith, this is the guy that stuck around all day on the qualifying day just to beat Fane's time. He'd already qualified, Matt Smith had. With that time, he said he was pretty much set to stay in the race, but he stayed for hours longer just to beat Fane's time. So this is not a man who's going to settle for 3rd place, but he's got a long way to go to catch up to Fane.
Right, let's see where Thane's just coming around now through the chase. We'll see if we can run on board or actually just get a good track rundown with one driver, and we'll run through these speeds and the gears that they're running at. Smith, there we go, Thane, cross the start finish line, 202.297, so he'll be coming down here. This is Hell Corner, 2nd gear. He's going to be full throttle down, making sure that he doesn't get too loose, not enough throttle to push it sideways. 3rd gear, going up 4th, up mountain straight, 265 kilometers an hour he will be hitting as he comes up over the brow. 2nd, Ritchie, not that far behind.
No, and Matt Smith very close behind him as well. So the top 3 is reasonably spread out right now. It's not going to take a full crash for any of them to catch up. A few errors here and there, clipping the wall. And actually here we've got Matthew Brown in 4th place, and we're talking about how that top 3 was usually quite far away from everyone else. the gap is closing.
The gap is closing. You can see here the gap between first, second, third and fourth is not that much. Slowest point of the track coming up right now. Right there, it's only, it's, well, we say slowest, it's still 160 k's an hour, but you know, it's second gear and then straight up to third. This is a really fun part of the track for the drivers. Any driver will tell you that this is the roller coaster ride they love coming down there, because it's just the push in your seat as you come through, as they come now through Skyline and into the S's. There you go, Philamy Park. This is what you see, the epic helicopter shots always. Sam Smith coming through now. That's where Pua took the little divert.
I don't think any of these races are going to do that. No. Do not want to get that penalty at all. But I'm really excited because fourth place is now catching up to Matt Smith. And remember, this is the guy that we're talking about. Oh, he's really going to be gunning for that first. But with Matthew Brown, remember, Matthew Brown was the #1 qualifier. He was in that pole position, so he's got a lot of pressure on him. Everyone's expecting him to be the top winner here today. Even he is. So to be sitting here in fourth place, but with the top 3 in sight, this is a good position for him to actually move up and overtake.
I wonder what's going through these boys' minds right now. You know, they can see Thane obviously quite a far ahead, but the battle for second, third and fourth, you know, there's still podium presentations. There's still a lot on the line here. There's the bragging rights. It's the first time in New Zealand, and it's all so close.
And we've actually been cycling through a few of the camera shots of the players, and you've seen the fourth place, third place, and they're all looking so intensely focused right now. They just want to take over the person in front of them. But there's Fane. There's Fane, and look at how calm he looks.
Now, if you watch his gears, top of fifth gear as he comes up mountain straight, 142 kilometers an hour. Here, this is go. This is where we're going to see the heavy braking from Fane coming in. He's going to be straight back to third gear. 85 kilometers an hour. This is where it's pedal to the metal, back up to 200 k's an hour if he can. Fourth gear, we're going to go for a lap with Fane right here. This is the slowest part of the Oh, a bit of a bobble there from him as he slips on through. He wants to stay in the middle of the track through the cutting. Watching the gears down the bottom, third gear, 88 kilometers per hour. This is where he's going to pick it up. Back to 190 kilometers per hour if he can. Fourth gear, up over the top there, fourth gear. We're going to see him, and we switched.
And we switched. That's
the
right.
concentration, though, on his face. Look at it. He's in it to win it.
He absolutely is. I think you saw a bit more relaxed facials from him before when we were around Hell's Corner, going up the straights, but then you get up to the cutting, you get up to the park, and suddenly that's when he gets way more focused, because he knows he's quite far ahead, but if he does make one mistake, that can ruin everything within a second.
Now this is a really cool. Watch the acceleration here as they come through the S's and the dipper. Look at this, third gear. See, they're just coasting it. They're not giving it a lot of exhilaration through those corners. And right through here, you'll notice again, coasting, no exhilaration. 60 kilometers an hour second, then straight back on it. Not too much though, because if you get too much, you're gonna step it sideways, you're gonna lose your traction, you're gonna keep it on the black stuff, and then straight down Conrod straight. 300 kilometers an hour. That gap is closing for second, third, and fourth, ladies and gentlemen. We might have ourselves a race. 16 out of 25. We're getting to the pointy end of it now. Hopefully, we get door-to-door action going at that point.
I feel like at this rate, we're definitely moving towards that. Unless one of these players makes a crucial mistake, then really there is the opportunity for all of them to overtake to at least that second position. Fane right now, it's on him to let anyone else get first right now. Unless Fane makes a mistake, no one is going to overtake him right now. It's just too big a distance.
The young Taupo board. Big lead out there, still holding the current fastest lap as well. Right on that motorsport lap from SVG. He comes up back over the mountain, plus 22.
Oh, we've actually got Chaz going for a pit stop now. It looks like as well, Johan Ward going for a pit stop. Now these players are both pretty far back in the positionings right now, going for more safety. Remember, Johan was the first player to go for a pit stop. He was very far back, wanted to go for an early pit stop, but you can see he's already going for another one again, so maybe paying a little bit for that early pit stop.
Two players side by side having a little chin wag there as they get fueled up. Wouldn't be like that in the pits in the normal instances.
He's looking a little stressed almost as well. I mean, he knows he's pretty far back, that his chances are looking pretty dashed, but fun story for you actually. And I believe this guy is a New Zealander as well. There was a cyclist who was actually racing and won a race because literally every single person in front of him had a crash and they completely bailed and he got first place. And the only reason he was there was because he qualified doing the exact same thing. So Johan, Chaz, even though you guys are well at the end of the pack, there is absolutely an opportunity for you to come back, if mind you.
If mind you, consistency, just keep in it, don't give up. And here is the battle for third and fourth, so we have seen them really get together now, right through the dipper and Forest elbow. Conrad Straight, is he going to use the slipstream? He's gone on the inside line there. It's side by side down Conrad Straight, and he gets the, what did he just get the pass?
No, Brown just overtook Richie there, so now he's managed to get into third place. Remember, Richie was second before as well, so he's been overtaken by Matt Smith. We've had a complete shuffle of second, third, and fourth. So there is still a few more corners here, but it looks like we've got a new podium.
Bit of a bobble there from Brown as he comes through, and there's nothing like actually hearing the sound of those cars going past you at 300 kilometers an hour. Boom, boom, he's gone in for a pit.
And
did not realize I thought he had pitted.
No, maybe he had, but Brown actually just going in for a pit after getting to that third spot. So that's painful that after getting that success there, getting to that third place spot, knowing that you're going to get these prizes.
I'm just, dude, that is an amazing graphical, like looking at that, you would not think it's not real. It's amazing.
It feels very real, but in any case, I mean, the other thing that I said during that podium shuffle was that Matt Smith did overtake Richie. So Richie went from second all the way back to third. So there you can see Matthew Brown was second, currently in sixth place, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, he's out of the pits now, pit out with, seem to be just watching the right-hand side. There we go, we're back. Oh, Brown on, lights on, game on.
And he's still in sixth place. So he's by no means last, of course, but to be honest, fourth and after is really pretty much the same in terms of these prizes. Remember, the players are going to be wanting to go for them. Speaking of prizes as well, our first place racer, fastest lap, most consistent racer, has mum and dad in the crowd as well. Fane is still sitting consistently at the front. It's going to be almost impossible for other racers to catch up to him here.
We're looking at his fuel consumption here. You know, he's sitting quite low on the fuel consumption now. He's obviously sitting on pole position, still with the fastest lap, of course, but it'll be interesting to see what the Brown's fuel is currently sitting at as he comes up over top of Mount Panorama.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if Fane does have to pit here, he will get overtaken, but we've also got to remember that the other players behind him will have to pit soon as well. There's only 7 laps to go. We're into lap 18 of Bathurst here, and the battle for 4th and 5th, we had that going on earlier on in the race, but it's now Bishop and Fisher. Remember, Simon Bishop was 8th place earlier in the race.
There we go, what a battle. It swaps. Is he going to do it on the outside? Fisher comes back in. Great little battle there for 4th and 5th.
So Bishop actually showing that he is a consistent driver here. Remember, because he was all the way in 8th, he had to drive every single lap consistently and just that little bit faster than everyone in front of him, and he is actually catching up. So Bishop now getting ahead.
All right, so come through the front straight. 2:03, so not the fastest time still quite a higher time than what you're seeing from the race leader.
And remember as well, Simon Bishop, your second seed from the qualifiers, all the way from Dunedin. I'm a Dunedin boy myself, so I'm quietly cheering this guy on a little bit too. And the fact that he's gone from 8th to 4th, the Dunners boy is doing us proud.
Not much motorsport down there. We actually did some motorsport inside Forsyth Stadium.
Oh, really?
Last year,
okay.
we put a concrete pitch down. Ridiculous. Don't ever do that again. Here we go. He's on screen as well. The concentration, look at him.
I think Simon as well, talking to the players earlier today, is probably the second most focused and serious player. Everyone else is a bit of a joker, that likes to have a bit of a laugh. Simon, he's dead serious. I'd only put Matthew Brown ahead of him. The other online qualifier, funnily enough, from the South Island.
Now, I guess the question here is these guys are killing it at the eSport, the Bathurst, the GT side of it. Do you guys also game outside of this?
I talked to a few of them. Their passion, of course, is GT and other racing games, but a few of them dabble, but not to the level that you'd expect in esports. They might play it casually, similar to what you'd see from the celebrity race. They might even be good at some games, but nowhere near the professional level. So you generally see esports players, like a lot of traditional sports players, just stick to their one game.
Yeah, and as they stick to that, you can actually see them grow. Look at that, Fane in for pits.
And Matt Smith, he sees his moment. He's going to go ahead and overtake Fane right now. So Matt Smith has managed to get himself that first position, but when does he have to go and pit, right?
Well, you've got 5 laps to go, and his fuel consumption, he's sitting on he's sitting on a quarter of a tank there, so it'll be interesting to see. His lap times are obviously nowhere near Fane, but Fane's going to pull on that gas. It's going to be enough to send him home. It's when he stops. Now, is this automatic? Can he stop when he wants?
It looks like he did just then. So he's going to come out. Oh, no, he didn't. He's got overtaken and I missed him, but I don't think you can stop. Unless he just did there. Just really just trying to take the words out of my mouth there, Fane. Thank you very much. But he stopped at 66%. So he went 2/3 of the fuel tank. So
Look at
that's
this.
enough.
So Smith is on E. He is out of gas. He is going to have to pit. So the tactics, he's going to lose this first position. It's going to go back to Richie.
Wow, that is painful for Matt Smith. He saw his moment, said, maybe I've got one more lap in me to get out of this tank, but he does have to pit stop pretty soon.
There we go, Fane currently in third.
Well, I mean, expect Fane to really catch up to the other races, especially if Matt Smith does actually run out of gas there, and he's going to have to pit anyway. So Fane realistically is going to start overtaking Matt Smith once he pits, so expect him to get up to second. But you can see Josh Ritchie actually coming up the tail end of Fane.
Yeah, he's really pushing that car to its absolute limits, and it's great to hear him before the race say that he's actually doing that and that the game allows him to do that. So all those little bubbles, he knows that there's a fine line of losing it with the game versus what he'd actually probably do in the Lambo sitting on the stage.
Oh yeah, don't let Fane in there.
Yeah, he's driven them before and he's done quite an amazing job. So, but yes, I would not want to be a race car driver in someone's Lamborghini. Smith, is he going to pit? This is the moment of truth for Smith.
Well, he has to. That blinking red light means he's running out of fuel. So look at him. He's going to have to pit eventually.
He's not watching it? Oh, yes, he did. Okay. He got in. Maybe he heard the commentators.
I guarantee you he's watching it. I guarantee you he knows he's running out of fuel.
Yeah.
This is going to be Fane's opportunity to go and overtake. You can see a sigh of relief coming up from Matt Smith as well. Matt Smith, by the way, physically sitting next to Fane as well. So while he pits, he gets that opportunity to just turn his head a little bit to the right, have a look at the screen. I mean, screen watching may have been cheating a few years ago, but right now, getting to watch Fane right next to you shows maybe he can learn a little bit. Maybe he can see where Fane's stats are as well, how much fuel Fane has. You can deduce that maybe.
There you go, he's off. So the question was how much he wanted to take in. And obviously you can stop it, so he's decided to get straight back out there. Is it going to be enough to send him home? Well, we're on 4 laps to go, I'm sure it will be. So fuel consumption has played a huge part in this first race.
Oh, it has indeed. You can see Josh Ritchie sitting on just over a quarter of a tank. Remember, we talked about this before when Matt Smith had this much. He's got Fane right up his tail right now. Does he have enough to go 4 more laps to get there?
Yeah, he's got enough to get home. I'd say he's got to go. So he's sitting well over a quarter of a tank. So the consistency, that's all he's going to have to do. He's got to hold this consistency, and now is blocking going to come into play.
Yes, of course. You've always got to consider that as well. Oof. Just making sure that the racer behind you doesn't have the opportunity to get on your inside, go for those overtakes.
This is just going to this is going to be, I think, an interesting little one to watch. He is quick. He's got the quick man in the Sky City R35 right on the backside, coming through to Forest's elbow. Before we get there, we're going to come through the dipper right there, 2 wheels off the ground.
And you've got to remember as well, this is one of the first times in this race where Fane has been behind someone. The pitting right now is not really a consideration, right? Fane sees someone in front of him. He is going to gun it to try and overtake Josh Ritchie here. So this is, again, he doesn't have to just sit back, relax, do his usual fast times. He's got to overtake Josh now.
Amazing shot of the 2 R35s there. Well, he comes down real fast on the brakes, hard as he can. Is that going to push him wide?
Oh.
He's on the grass, but he manages to pull it back in. Woo!
The look of intense focus on Fane's face there. You can see he wants that pole position. He wants to overtake Josh here.
Look at Josh,
is not giving him any room.
He's binned it, ladies and gentlemen, but he retains it. He didn't go full 180. He's going to have to put the foot down there. Big upset.
Oh no,
he is not going to be happy about that.
That is devastating for Fane as well. And you've also got to consider how much damage did he take in that kerfuffle there. Is it going to be enough to get him over the finish line? Right now, I'm going to say yes, Fane's a dedicated driver. He pitted very recently, so his car's looking all right even after that.
Well, look at that, coming to Griffin's Bend. Look at the catch-up. What a catch-up he's done already. He wasn't happy about it. You saw it in his face, but he's already caught up to him once again, and he's going to do it again. My money is... I've got to be quiet. My money is still on Fane at this stage, but we see... Is that Smith in the background catching up as well?
Well, you've got to remember, Fane just took a pretty heavy hit on the corner. Not devastating.
Here's the replay. bit sideways. Oh, huge hit there from Fane.
But that's the mark of a great driver as well, being able to recover from that too. So the fact is that he's still
pushing
on
the limits.
Josh
2 wheels in, he's
Ritchie's
gone.
tail.
Ooh, definitely pushing the limits here. Up as he comes past McPhillamy Park. He's going to come into the S's right now. Now they're going to coast. See if we can get some stats on screen as they come through the S's.
This is
scrolling
intense.
down. Now usually they actually keep off the gas coming through here, but he's going to be gassing it. This is the dipper.
Remember, you tap a wall here, and
he's
Fane
going for the pass on the dipper, pushes in. Fane takes the lead. Takes the lead for the 2017 LPL Gran Turismo final. Now is he going to be able to slipstream him back?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Fane catch up from an impossible distance, but Fane also now has the opportunity to widen that gap. Josh, I feel like he's too far back to actually benefit from that slipstream. Just out of reach there. So now Fane is going to extend that reach, and it's going to be a battle for second and third.
22 laps out of 25, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going to be consistency for these last 3 laps. They've both got enough gas to get home. Here's a little lead change on the dipper. Pushes wide. It's going to be interesting to see if the game penalises him for that, because he did use him semi as a little bumper car.
A little bit of a wall there.
A little bit of a wall. So, interesting place to pass.
Yeah, and you can also see the reaction there from Josh Ritchie as well. And now they're coming in here.
There we go, over the official.
4-second penalty. That's painful for Fane, so he has to extend that lead by 4 seconds. Currently, it's 2.9 seconds, and that is climbing. So he is looking to actually increase it by 4 seconds. If he can do that, then that penalty isn't going to matter as much.
There you go, the trophy on the line. The pressure is on. This is shaping up to be pretty awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Live here, Sky City Theatre, $5,000 on the line. 4 seconds he has to have over the second position. Pressure on, pushes it a bit sideways, slowest part of the track as he comes through here. Straight back up to third gear. 260 kilometers over the top of the mountain as he climbs first position.
Whew. First position, and he has had to fight for this position as well, with Josh Ritchie just previously in the lead, and I believe he's still second place. Matt Smith was actually coming up on the tail as well. Fourth place is pretty far away. You can actually see
4.3 in the lead. He's got the lead, and Ritchie is now going to be challenged by Smith. Smith after it comes down on the inside. What a little battle now going on for second and third over the Mount Panorama through the S's. The dipper, will he use the same tactic that Thane used through the dipper? We're about to see.
But is it worth
through here?
Is it worth 4 second penalties though?
In Thane's case, it was. He doesn't use it. He's going to try to slipstream. I reckon he'll slipstream in on Comrade.
That's the way to go if you want to get it without a penalty. He's already right behind him, right on his tail. Use the slipstream, but now they're almost going side by side, maybe trying to overtake a little bit early.
All right, Ritchie's got the inside line, so side by side down at 300 kilometers per hour. If this was a normal race, you'll be on the edge of your seats, ladies and gentlemen. And he does, he gets it, he's got the inside line. Are they going to be able to brake? On the brakes, right down here, second gear. Straight back, and he gets it. Is he going to have to pass him?
He's still staying ahead. Josh Ritchie holds strong, but there's one more corner before that lap is going to be complete to see who's going to contest Fane in the final few laps. And Ritchie holds his cool, but Smith is
sideways. Sideways, he nearly just did what Thane did, but he's still got right there. Now Thane's got a huge gap, 5.5. He's managed to get that $5,000 paycheck in his back pocket. Will he be able to maintain it? 24 out of 25, ladies and gentlemen. Both got enough gas to get them home as well. The battle is going to be for second and third here. Bathurst Mount Panorama 2017, the Gran Turismo final board. Inside, Smith, is he going to do it? Brakes on the hard, he puts him in the wall. Oh, was that a touch?
There is still a huge gap between third and fourth place, but after that, I don't think it's going to be big enough. You still didn't see them in the rear there, so Ritchie should still be pretty comfortable, but he's lost his second place position here. Needs to work so hard to catch up.
Now, I would love to see a replay on what went down there. It was obviously just heavy braking. He knew his side by side. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, on the bottom right. Oh, it doesn't look like they touched. We will find out from the officials. Just couldn't make that corner dive in, and it just pushed him wide.
And you can see Josh Ritchie shaking his head at that reaction as well. He knew that that was mostly his fault as well. But someone we haven't talked about for a very long time is Fane Garcia, coasting along both down the dipper there and also in first place here. This is his second last lap as well. So he is really, like you said, sitting there with $5,000 in his back pocket. He just needs to not fall over if he wants to keep it.
Well, it's all about the bragging rights too. This is a New Zealand first, ladies and gentlemen, witnessed here on GTSport Live and here at the Sky City Theatre. What a way to present it. Thank you to LPL. Well, I'm just so excited. It's just very thrilling. First time I've ever done this.
I know, and it's on a video game as well. And look at the intense competition too. We saw Fane contested for his first place. We've seen a big battle for second and third. Even the fourth place has been getting up in there. A lot of it's come down to their pit strategies. But ladies and gentlemen, raise your voices for the final lap of the New Zealand GTSport Championship final.
Fane in the lead, bit sideways there. All he's got to do is maintain composure. He's got the gas to get him home and not crash, as we hear in our ears. The Sky City R35, the man from Taupo. He's a New Zealand international motorsport athlete. He's got strong ambitions. If you are a race team operator in the supercars, maybe you should look at this young man.
Maybe, definitely look at this young man. He's just come in here and blown everyone out of the water so far. These are racers, these are gamers as well, who have been playing these games for pretty much all their lives, and he comes in as someone who's been racing on both sims and in the real world, and he says, you gotta have that real world experience to really excel to the most you possibly can.
All right, well, he's got a good distance lead here. I wonder what the second and third position is going to be looking like, but it's all about Fane on the final lap. He has pushed the limits, he has done the homework, and he has done the hours as he comes down through the final dipper.
And actually the best time for that section as well. Still hasn't managed to top that fastest lap. But ladies and gentlemen, why does he need to when he's still looking ready to finish? The battle for second and third as well has widened. So Matt Smith is looking pretty safe in his second place position here as well. So again, these racers just need to get that last consistent stretch. The last time down Conrod Straight for Fane Kahia.
Fane Kahia maintaining composure. These other boys are pushing the limits, but it's all about Fane Kahia. The Sky City R35, he pushes wide through the last point, 300 kilometers per hour. Will he get his fastest time? He's got a big smile on his face. He knows it. He knows that $5,000 is coming into his back pocket. All he's got to do is maintain composure.
Look at
ladies and gentlemen, Sky City Theatre, make some noise as he comes around the final corner, the LPL Gran Turismo Grand Final. Your winner for 2017, Fane Kahia.
And coming up just on his tail as well, Matt Smith coming in as second place. And third and fourth are coming up quite shortly, but it looks like a clean third for Josh Ritchie.
What an amazing race by all these drivers. Great tactics. Fane Kahia takes the honours. Matt Ritchie congratulating. Now, if you want to get into motorsport, check it out online. Check out LPL online. That is a place to get into eSport. This eye-opener for myself. If you want to feel the real thing, get onto New Zealand Extreme Motorsport Series and check that out. Get yourself a race car, get to a motorsport track this summer and experience it in the flesh. Feel the rumble through yourself. So, Matt, wow.
What an intense race, and for the first time in New Zealand as well on national television, the GTSport Grand Final. We have our champions standing on the stage, and you can see Fane wiping the sweat away. He knows he's the champion. He's number one today. What a day.
A big thank you to Gran Turismo for putting this on and backing at Sky City Theatre. LPL, what an event. Flavour, the MCs, just everyone who has made this, I guess, a dream come true for this young man. It's a notch in his belt, and it's really going to line him up for his summer motorsport career. It's all smiles on the dials as well down there.
You've got a smile as well. And
there we go. This is how it's stacked up, ladies and gentlemen, for the first inaugural event. Kane sitting there, Smith in second, Brown in third, Ritchie in fourth. What a battle there between Smith, Brown and Ritchie. Bishop, Holland, Fisher and Ward. Those times there. 52.14 by Kane. Wow.
That's another thing that we did not talk about as well, the fatigue as well. That's almost an hour sitting in the pod in front of a screaming crowd as well.
You really have to give it to Smith, sorry. He qualified on a controller, is that not correct?
That was Simon Bishop that
qualified
on a controller.
My bad. So Smith in second there, only +3 of a second behind Fane. So that is still an amazing result.
What an absolute race as well. And, you know, I put my money on Matt Smith, so I wasn't too far off actually getting a big payout there, but everyone else backed Fane, and for a very good reason as well.
It was all down to that dipper, that move, and he popped it on down on the inside, and it did bump, and he did get penalised for that, plus 4 seconds.
But he still made it.
But he still made it, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing comeback from the young Taupo boy. I just can't get over it, and you know, consistency right from the start. As we go down there, look at him, big sigh of relief off Thane, just waiting for our official presentations down on stage now. Everyone getting very excited. He's a rich man.
He is a rich man as well.
We know who to go see at the bar tonight.
I'm definitely hanging out with that guy tonight.
Yeah.
But look, it's not just $5,000. He also gets the GTSport bundle as well for the PlayStation set. Second place as well, that $2,000 along with the PlayStation VR set. And of course, third place, that $1,000 and a PlayStation bundle as well. So first, second, third made a lot today. And then also, like you said, those bragging rights, being the first people in New Zealand to get pole position in motorsports, eSports on national television.
Now that is it for the 2017 League of, I guess, eSports and the Bathurst race. We are very privileged to present this to you live from here, Sky City Theatre. My name is Brendan White, privileged to be here with Matt. We're going to go now live, trackside as we would say, down on stage for the official presentation.
Welcome back to the Let's Play Live Gran Turismo Sport Grand Final for New Zealand. Here are our top 3 places for the tournament today. In third place, Matthew, congratulations, bro. How did you feel taking out third today?
A bit disappointed from where I started, but I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah.
And today you're taking home a $1,000 cash prize and a GT Limited Edition PS4. How do you feel about that?
Pretty happy about that. That's pretty awesome.
Go grab your prize, buddy. Congratulations on third place. All right, Matthew, second place today. Congratulations. How do you feel, man? I feel like it was close, but at the end of the day, the bro took out the #1 spot.
Yeah, man, it's an awesome feeling, I have to say. It was awesome. I tried to catch him down, but he just is so consistent in that pace, I couldn't quite catch up.
And being a gamer yourself, is this like a great place for you and an awesome tournament for you to show your skills? Like Gran Turismo Sport on live on Sky Sport, what does that mean for you?
This is amazing, eh? This is the best opportunity, and to have the whole crowd here, it's just been spectacular. Nerve-wracking, but awesome.
All the best, man. Second place. Go take your prize, bro. We love you too, Matthew. Love that. $2,000 cash prize, a PlayStation VR and PS4 camera, and GTSport Limited Edition PS4. Now the man of the hour, Fane. Bro, congratulations, taking out the #1 spot. How was it for you playing on a game as it was in real life, bro?
Yeah, I mean, same thing goes in as real life, you know, just stay consistent, don't make any mistakes, and this was actually probably the first time I've actually gone the distance and not made any mistakes. It's pretty clean, so I'm real stoked with that.
Now, there was a point, in, I think around the 20th lap, where you had a crash, you lost first place. What were you thinking in your mind when that guy took you over?
I guess maybe I did just lie just then. I made a couple mistakes, one going into the pits, and then, yeah, I was following, I can't remember who it was, but, you know, I had a big run and then just gassed it a little bit too early, then hit the wall, and I was just like, damn. But I sort of guessed from where he was on the track at that moment that he was on a slower strategy than me, just to make the distance. So I knew that I had to be patient and finally, you know, just take him at a responsible moment.
And have you got anybody in the crowd tonight supporting you?
Yeah, I got my mum, dad over there, wave, yeah. And then, I don't know, somewhere I've got my cousin and his mates. Hopefully they made it, or actually came. But yeah, you know, mum, dad, shout out to you guys for coming all the way from Taupo, so yeah.
Hey, mate, congratulations, bro. First place, man. Go and get your prize of $5,000 cash money, GTSport Limited Edition PS4, and we're going to give you that trophy, man. Everyone, give him a round of applause, man. Fane Co. Well done, bro. Well done, well done. Wow, that's it from all the action at the LPL Gran Turismo Sport. Hey, take your $5,000 or I'm going to run away with it, all right? Give him one more show. Give him one more show. One more round of applause, crowd. Look at him, $5,000.
Definitely don't forget that PlayStation as well, Gran Turismo. On that note, though, special thanks to PlayStation, Let's Play Live, Flavor Radio, and everybody else who's been involved today with this event.
All the best. Thank you all so much. Let's head back to the commentary.
Wow, what a way to finish the New Zealand GT Championship. Fame, talked about at the top. Wonderful, wonderful race from him. I mean, it was amazing at the end, and he was very consistent.
Yeah, I'm out of breath just watching that race. I wasn't even competing, and I can't wait for the next one. This is the best Gran Turismo event that the country's ever had.
Your hyperventilating was so good in the middle of the day, and as you should, it was fantastic, wasn't it, Arcadian?
It was awesome. I mean, up to the very last laps, they were all so close. Some different decisions. You saw some big, choices that they had to make, and in the end, the calm, collected, humble in victory, Bane pulled it out.
And took it away. So, of course, what about all the year that we've been doing here, all the esports action, all the people at home who love it? Can they get involved later on?
Absolutely. Now, I mean, it's been a huge year for LPL, and we've been doing, it's been a huge events. We've had multiple NBA 2K, League of Legends, Call of Duty, and now the Gran Turismo Sport Championship. And if you want more esports action, then you'll be able to get involved. Letsplay.live. If you're into esports, if you're into your favorite game, you could be the biggest New Zealand next esports star at Letsplay.live.
It could be you right here.
It could be.
In the theatre next year in 2018. But that is us here for tonight and for the year. So on behalf of myself, Dwan, on behalf of the Thriller, Arcade, and of course all the Sky Sport team, thank you for tuning in. Have a safe and Merry Christmas. And as I always say, GG and good night.